great to be here, and I'm Richard Vevers from the Ocean Agency, and I've only been given 5 minutes for this talk, but I'm hoping it'll be just enough time to completely change your view of the planet, climate change, and the environment, and also convince you of the importance of ocean literacy in achieving environmental and climate change literacy. So let's get started. First of all, I want to take you out to the high seas. So if you land randomly on our planet, chances are you will end up here. And you're in deep water. You look down, it's dark, it's 3 miles deep, and everything is moving. And you're feeling very, very vulnerable. And you're feeling vulnerable because you're witnessing the source of life on Earth, the living ocean that dominates our world and impacts every aspect of our lives, from our mental health, our physical health, to our security and our economic stability, regardless of where we live. And you're witnessing what's controlling the climate and weather, and what's keeping our planet habitable through its life, its energy, and its currents. But few people ever get to witness this view of our ocean. We tend to witness this view, which should appear any second. It's not going to appear any second. But imagine the scene. You're on a beach looking out to the ocean. You can all come over here and see the screens I can see. So we get a terrestrial view of the ocean, which makes it almost impossible to see the ocean for what it really is. We learn to associate the ocean with fun and relaxation and not much else. I'll go back to the ocean picture. There we are. And we learn to associate the ocean with fun and relaxation and not much else, but we largely omit the ocean from school education. Less than 5% of countries globally mandate ocean education in the natural curricula, and few people ever learn about it in a really meaningful way. Now, omitting ocean from education doesn't just fail to give us an understanding of the source of life on Earth, it instills a belief in almost all of us at a very early age that the ocean isn't really that important. You know, it's not even taught at school. So generations have grown up this way, enjoying and even loving the ocean, but with a deeply entrenched belief that we don't need to be too concerned about understanding it or addressing the issues. This is a systemic problem, even at the highest level. And the implications are huge. Our lack of ocean literacy has completely undermined our efforts to understand and solve environmental issues such as climate change and biodiversity loss. Now, we can learn a lot from other cultures, especially ocean cultures, like the Polynesians. Now, they look at the ocean, they don't think of it as water, it's energy. And it's energy that can be the source of life, it can sustain life, and it can also take life. And they believe that people evolved from the ocean. And to be honest, they were completely right, and are completely right. And if only everyone else thought this way. So what would happen if we actually allow people to see the ocean for what it is, and gave people a good ocean education? Well, for starters, they'd understand what this is. And it's one of the most important life forms on the planet. This is something that very few people would even recognize, and hardly anyone knows the name, a coccolithophore. And these are important because they've produced the oxygen that made terrestrial life possible. And they also capture carbon, and they produce these beautiful little discs which fall to the ocean floor and then get sucked into the sediment where they're safely stored for centuries. Really important organisms. We can learn so much from the organisms like this. This is an organism that can be seen from Mars. It works at this epic scale, removing carbon from the system. We'd also understand what this is. And often we look at marine life and think it's just like terrestrial life. But marine life is reducing the impacts of climate change, which is unlike terrestrial life, which is generally neutral. And this is a creature that epitomizes this. This is the fastest growing creature on the planet. It's a mola mola. And they give birth to these creatures with 300 million brothers and sisters. Yeah, and they grow up to this. And this is up to 5,000 kilos. These are carbon-eating machines that go around the ocean, pooping carbon to the ocean floor. And if we knew about these creatures, we'd probably care about their protection, and we'd want them to thrive. But we don't know about these creatures. We'd also understand that climate change and its solutions much better if we really looked at the ocean. And there are certain aspects of this, like the actions that we do to the ocean. For example, we do bottom dredging. So this is deep sea fishing where we dredge the ocean floor, and this is a very, very bad idea. It releases the carbon. And recent studies showed that it actually releases more carbon than civil aviation industry, which shows the scale of these issues that we don't know about. Now, what we could also learn about is the creatures in the ocean. Now, these are really, really amazing creatures that have evolved completely separate to life above the ocean generally. And we can learn so much about them, such as curing diseases and all these other aspects about ocean life. But most important is the ocean literacy that makes people... Oh, sorry, there's one other slide here, which is on corals, because I actually love corals. We did a film, Chasing Coral, and I fell in love with these creatures because they're amazing. They've been evolving for 500 million years, and they've really developed superpowers. They don't have a life expectancy. They build cities that dwarf our cities. They can even seed clouds. And we just aren't studying these kind of creatures enough. But most importantly, if we had ocean literacy, would be our understanding of climate change. And the worst impacts on climate change on land are really all ocean related. Whether it's storms, whether it's wildfires, whether it's droughts, whether it's floods, it's all about ocean change. And that's why the Ocean Agency has teamed up with the UCI to develop the Ocean Literacy Project, to really raise awareness and reimagine ocean literacy.